like you used to have a lot of rappers like doing these venues because that's where the middle class artists go. They're the ones selling out the 2,000 or 5,000 venues. That's where the middle class guys go. There's nothing wrong with it, and I hope people don't get hung up on colloquials. I'm not saying middle class like these guys ain't good. I'm saying these things as this is what's happening in terms of artists of a certain level. Look, we're not going to see no hip hop for the most part. Shit, Andrew Callahan is going to be doing some shit. But where's hip hop?
What the fuck is that? They say the substance is gone and all the music and all the hip hop. There's no more substance. Let's see what this nigga Akademiks talking about, man. They got me feeling like I'm Akademiks.
February 2026 is a perfect month. The first started on a Sunday, and it ends on a Saturday. The 28th is on Saturday. It won't happen until 2037 again. I guess. All right, what else is happening on the rap front? You know I'm going to Shade Room next. Oh, I didn't mean to react to this too. So Bow Wow said something, and I was thinking about it. I want to hear what you guys think.
They ain't making good music. It's simple. Ain't nobody making nothing timeless. Ain't nobody making music that makes the ladies cry or feel some type of way when they put it on. You ain't like it's a lot of right now music. You know what I'm saying? Even the biggest records, it's big, but you know, let's see what it's gonna be at the finish line though.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can live in 5. You gonna care about this record 8 years from now? You might be like, I know, because it's gonna change. Music gonna change, but if you make that music that is timeless and you write it right and it lasts forever, you gonna be here. Like it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we missing. We missing substance. We missing.
Yeah, and substance isn't a prerequisite these days, but what he's saying is actually absolutely right. I believe the reason why records are coming and going and just either not hitting or maybe it's popping in the club for a little bit, but it's kind of pretty much forgotten. These days, you know, I've had a criticism of music in the sense of the middle class of music. Music is becoming, it's turned into a, 1 second. Yeah. So what was I saying? Music is turning into, it's becoming like this proliferation of the top and the bottom. Pause. And I got to say pause with that, but I hope you understand what I'm saying here, right? And since I'm the only one who's doing, so to speak, think pieces, I guess, in hip hop these days, you guys could take and clip.
It's a lot of artists that fell off. I think what he's trying to say, like there's no more middle class in hip hop. It's either you're Drake, Kendrick, Future, these guys that's at the top, J. Cole, Travis. It's either that you're on that level or you're at the bottom. There's not really like a middle level no more.
This, because I'm agreeing with Bow Wow, but I believe the middle class of music is out. So let me explain what I mean. At the very top of music, you got Kendrick, Drake, you got J. Cole, you have Future, you have a bunch of artists, Travis Scott. They're at the top of music. We know what they're going to do. They're going to sell out stadiums. They're going to sell out arenas. They are the guys. They're still the guys, right? Now, obviously, we do expect and we are worried for the changeover factor because these guys can't continue forever. Of the people I'm mentioning, I believe Kendrick is almost 40. Drake's almost 40. Future is already 40. And when you think about who else? Travis might be the youngest. Let's just look at that, right? How old is Drake? So Drake is turning 40 this year. How old is Kendrick? Kendrick is turning 38 this year, right? How old is J. Cole? J. Cole is already 40. And
so Kendrick is the youngest between him, Drake, and Cole. But he be putting that belt to ass. He be putting leather on them niggas. That shit funny.
He's 41. And how old is Future? Future is 42. Now, I remember even Andre 3000. I forgot what age he even said it, but he said, honestly, he fell back from music because he really thinks it's a young man's sport. Now, I do think that the age range, and this is not an ageism type of conversation I'm trying to have here. I do think, the age range of music is definitely expanded. And of course, there's people who listen for different eras. So that's not really the conversation I'm trying to have. What I'm trying to say is that there's a deletion of the middle class. So eventually that top class, they're going to have a changeover because they're going to lose passion, or they're just too rich, or they're going to pursue other ventures. This is another conversation to say do we have people to replace them? Because usually the middle class, somebody breaks out and gets to the upper class. Travis was middle class for a while, and then he got to the upper class, and he's been there since. Now, I'm saying class, but I'm just talking about tiers, right? So the upper, like the top tier artists, which there are probably only 5 of them, right? Or maybe let's say under 10. They're there. What I believe has happened is there's a deletion of the middle class of music. What do I mean? The middle order guys that used to sell around 100,000, maybe 80,000, those guys, they're either all the way down or they broke out already. There isn't a stabilization of the middle class. And this is kind of reflects the economy to a certain extent. As time goes on, without some correction, the middle class always get crunched. Like the middle class, what was considered middle class in the 60s and what's considered middle class now is very different. Could you survive off a middle class income then versus now? What I'm saying is that it's happening in music. Who am I mentioning? I'm mentioning the Polo G's. I'm mentioning the Roddy Riches. I'm mentioning the Lil TJs, the A Boogies of the world. I'm mentioning the Moneybagg Yo's. I'm mentioning those guys. They would be filling out that middle class of hip hop. They're not top echelon artists, but they're not bottom of the barrel either. And those guys used to be those middle order guys. What's also important to kind of acknowledge is Rolling Loud and its lineup is a good example if you're gonna analyze that, right? You're going to notice, Rolling Loud, with all due respect, and shout out to my man Tariq, and I will be at this event, by the way, too. Other than the top guys, you don't see much middle order guys. You see guys on the bottom kind of coming up. The middle order, the middle level artists have been gutted out. Now, there's a few still there, but...
So what about Don Toliver? Because I don't think... Is Don Toliver a superstar? He might be a superstar now, because I would think that he will be middle class, wouldn't he? Or maybe Don Toliver is a superstar now. I don't know. Let me know, y'all. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about Don Toliver. Is he a superstar or is he mid-level?
But think about how many middle-level artists we used to have that are kind of just not really relevant anymore. And I think that's why Rolling Loud didn't book him, honestly, right? Yes, Sexy Red, middle, right? Middle class. Bossman D-Lo, middle class. No Cap to a certain extent, middle class. But the rest of these guys, they're guys that, and when I say bottom level, it's not that they're trash, it's that they're on the come up, right? So all the middle level veteran artists, they're kind of been gutted. They're either completely irrelevant, or they got no motion, or they've given up on music, period. Right? So you're seeing a bunch of people there, and the only people who escape it, I know you're gonna be like, what about Chief Keef? He's a legend. Legends, you don't have to even rank him. You know what I mean? So
legends never die.
For example, somebody like Kodak, yes, he could be middle order if he's not a top tier artist, but he's he would get booked just off being a legend. It's Kodak. We're not seeing active middle order guys Kodak. That you're if he drops, he's gonna do 80. If he drops, he does 70. Whatever. It's either these we're teetering on superstar versus the middle order, and even down to be let's say somebody like Yeet. Yeet, I think in a different era, would be kind of middle order. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, he's teetering on superstar. He's ascended up. There is no middle class of music anymore. Again, this Rolling Loud lineup isn't probably the best representation, but you could use it as a representation. Most of these artists, they're on the lower level other than the headliners, and it's not as a diss, they're heading up. But there aren't these established guys that you're oh, this guy's been consistent for the last 4 or 5 years. He's a veteran. He's still lit. those guys have kind of like really dwindled down. And I think what happened at Rolling Loud, those guys have outpriced themselves. They're not that relevant anymore. They're used to getting like 150,000 or 100,000 per show. And Rolling Loud probably said, listen, we're going to spend the money on a headliner. Let's just get a bunch of guys who are on the come up. So I think the middle class in music is completely dead. Let me tell you what a healthy middle class is, right? Let's go back to Rolling Loud. I don't know. Let's go to 2018 Rolling Loud, right? We'll look at this. The idea of a 2018 Rolling Loud, right? Give me 1 second. Okay. This is a good one right here. Okay. Jesus, can we get the fuck? Okay. All right. Sorry, Chad. Just need to get. All right, here we go. Oh my God, it's still okay. Here we go. So like back then, yeah, J. Cole, Superstar. Uzi's kind of right there because this is coming off of Love Is Rage 2. Then we have these guys are middle order at this point. Young Thug is middle order. He doesn't really get to like kind of bordered by superstar status until 2020, which is so much fun. But we have ASAP Ferg. At that time, Playboy Cardi was in that mix.
Kevin
Young
Gates.
Dolph, Currency. You could actually see there was a bunch of people who were active. Even Youngboy was there, who were active on the scene that were viable artists, but they were middle class artists. And I'm not saying that they're trash. I'm saying in terms of their status, right? Middle class, right? The Navs, the Fetty Waps. The Trippie Reds, Chief Keef at that time because he was more active on the scene. Rich the Kid, right? That was middle class, right? We're talking about Ski Mask, Machine Gun Kelly for show, Lil Yachty, perfect. And then right on the superstar stats, we would have these people like, 21 Savage or Rick Ross or, maybe, I don't know if Wiz Khalifa at this point, he might have just been legend status, but like a Gucci, a Kevin Gates. My point is this now. These days, there is no more middle class in music. You're either completely irrelevant or on the come up, or you're a superstar, or you're a legend. There is no more, hey, I am the old reliable artist that, hey, I'll never be J. Cole, but I'm like super viable. And I'm like the consistent over the next 5 years, I'm going to keep, I drop, I sell 50. I drop, I sell 60. I drop, I sell 40. I'm that consistent guy. Mm-hmm. Those people are out of here. They're all out of here.
That shit low-key real, G. I ain't gonna lie.
The atmosphere,
folks know,
favors a few of these artists that's teetering or at superstar level, and everybody else is like on this come up like rat race on getting the next hit, trying to build their new artists on that level too, who are trying to, just jump from competing among everybody to being superstars. But that's even harder because there's no more middle class. There's no more middle class, chat. This is why I think also Rolling Loud has been suffering. The middle order artists are gone. So put it like this: Rod Wave is not a middle order artist. He's selling out a tour by himself. He doesn't need to be on your lineup as a middle order artist. He's a superstar. Future, superstar. Travis, superstar. Cardi, superstar. Youngboy, superstar. Where are these other artists that you're like, this guy could do 5,000 venue, like a 5,000 stop venue every place, and he could sell 40, 50,000 record. He's consistent. He has a name enough. And am I making sense?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
No. Platboy Max isn't necessarily middle class. Platboy Max is he's on the like that introduction class, and if he lasts long enough, and he makes big enough hits, he'll jump closer to stardom. What I'm saying is that there's no middle level anymore. It makes sense though, right? Like we could talk about all these artists. Like again, I'd say Lil Durk was I'd say kind of right around his arrest, he was a middle order type artist.
Yep.
Right? He could sell like 100 and you would kind of think even if he didn't sell 100, he'll do 80. Those people are rare and far in between.
I really blame it on the economy, really. Like, that was a good point that he brought up. Really, music, sports, a lot of things are, directly impacted by the economy. And it seems like in the United States right now, the middle class is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Even they said that it's going to get worse. They said that, I think I heard somebody say that there's only 2 more years to get rich. There's only 2 more years until it's a major shift that happens. And if you're not rich at that point, you're probably just going to be at the bottom. Why? Because of that middle class that's kind of, that's depleting every single fucking day. So, man, it's so... The economy, politics, all this shit is synonymous with music, man.
I hope you guys understand that. So I'm agreeing with Bow Wow to a certain extent, and the extent I'm agreeing with him on is that obviously, we talked a lot about business today, and that definitely affects why that is. So economics and also the business of music, and I do think touring has been the most popular thing it's ever been. It used to be a big deal back in the day. Kanye rapped about, we talked about it yesterday, Kanye rapped about my big brother was Big's brother, and he rapped in the second verse about, when Jay announced a show at the Garden. And that was like a big thing. Like, he announced a show at the Garden. Like, it was a big thing that Jay would sell out the Garden. Mm-hmm. Like, these days, Rod Wave does the Garden twice. Like, touring is much more popular now, too.
Really?
You get what I'm saying? Like, some of these guys could, but it's only a few artists.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
the rest of these guys can't sell a ticket to save their life.
That shit fucked up.
And I think that's why Rolling Loud has suffered. Like, we're the guys that are going on tours. Like, I'll look at a venue right now, right? Popular venue in New York City. It's called 5,000 cap venues in NYC. Let me see. The Paramount is one. Let's look at that. Is it Paramount? Paramount event. Is it called Paramount? Something like that. Brooklyn Paramount. Okay. Brooklyn Paramount event calendar. I want to just see what rappers are going through there. Like, you used to have a lot of rappers like doing these venues because that's where the middle class artists go. They're the ones selling out the 2,000 or 5,000 venues. That's where the middle class guys go. There's nothing wrong with it, and I hope people don't get hung up on colloquials. I'm not saying middle class like these guys ain't good. I'm saying these things as this is what's happening in terms of artists of a certain level. Look, we're not going to see no hip hop for the most part. Shit, Andrew Callahan is going to be doing some shit. But where's hip hop?
What the fuck is that?
Where's hip hop?
There's no hip hop on this bitch, man.
Okay, Division's here.
Division, who the fuck is that?
They're R&B. Where's hip hop? Where's hip hop?
Crazy, fool.
We're in April. Where's hip hop? We have Dave. Yeah, Dave is a middle order artist, right? He's doing 2 nights back to back. But where's hip hop?
He's not even from the U.S. He's from London.
Where is it? This is New York City. Obviously, I'm gonna pick another venue too. So now we're at the end of May. We're not seeing no hip hop on this shit. Okay, so let me look at another venue. Terminal 5. Terminal 5 capacity. This is a venue that could hold 3,000 people. I remember seeing Uzi here for the first time. Okay, let's look at their event calendar. And that's what I'm saying. The middle class is gone, right? Like, how many times are we going to hear Kendrick's doing a stadium, Drake's doing 10 shows back to back wherever, Travis is doing like a fucking country. Like, we're hearing like some of these guys at the top, they're doing crazy shows, But then what happened to the middle guys? What are they doing?
They
Like,
ain't doing
why aren't
shit.
they on tour?
Damn, that's fucked up.
Is this Terminal 5?
gang.
Yeah,
Woo,
it is.
fun grade.
All right. I'm looking to see somebody. Look, it's no hip hop. No hip hop.
What the
Where
fuck
are they
happened to
at?
hip hop?
Okay, let's go to another venue.
I blame this shit on the streaming era, man. That's why people don't make music with substance, because the fucking streaming era, they scam the fuck out of us with that streaming shit. Spotify and all these people, man, they ruin music, in my opinion, because when the streaming era started, that's when you had everybody and their mama making music that can be streamed a lot of times so that they can make money. But the ironic part is that they're not even paying enough money for you to even make a real living off of that shit. So it's really a scam, because you're making music for this vehicle that you're not even really benefiting from, for real. Who's benefiting from it? Spotify's benefiting from it. Apple's benefiting from it. All of these people that own the streaming platforms are benefiting from it, because they have thousands and millions of artists that's on there uploading their songs every single day. They the big fish. They the ones that's really making money from the shit. But the artist itself, you're not really making no money from Spotify unless if you Drake or you Future or you at the top of some shit. And even at the top, shit, man, you probably signed a bogus ass deal anyway. You probably still not even making no money from that shit. That shit go to your label, shorty. So it's like, bro, the streaming era, they scam the fuck out of us, bro. They need to make a documentary on this shit, bro. Everybody started making their music specifically for streaming. But when you make that microwave bullshit, of course there's not going to be much that comes out of that that's actually timeless, that's going to live on years from now, 5-10 years later, just like what Bow Wow was saying. It's the streaming game. That shit fucked up everybody's head, man. Everybody was trying to make some quick TikTok streaming shit so that they can just get a quick check right now. They're not thinking about their career. They're not thinking about the legacy. They're not thinking about their future. They thinking about getting that check right now, getting that clout right now. Social media, TikTok, streaming, bullshit, ruin hip hop.
Sony Theater event calendar. Let's look at that. Okay, let's see. Okay, Bob Marley tribute, but that's not, like Tory Lanez would have been like middle class, right?
It ain't no hip hop on that bitch, boy.
Look, where's hip hop at? Where's hip hop?
Wow.
It's not here. And
I don't know any of those people for real.
So if you want to, like, and I know these guys didn't just disappear from the face of the earth. Half of them ain't putting out music. Half of them, like, they're kind of like aware that shit ain't the same anymore. And I'm just kind of pointing out that there's a deletion of the middle class of hip hop. Now let's look at this. Barclays
should be fucked.
Barclays event calendar. Now remember, there should be way more middle class rappers, right? Like, this is how it works. We call 1% rich, right? We call 1% rich. There's way more middle class than 1%. So if we have, let's say we have 10,000 artists, 9,000 of them should be middle class. 1,000 of them should be like that higher class. And what I'm trying to say is that, let me see if I could, is there a better calendar here? Okay, well, this is probably tough to use. You know why? Because the Nets play there. But what you're going to realize is that you'll see more tours and shows by the bigger artists than the middle class, or so to speak, who should have been middle class artists. Let's look at not Barclays. Let's look at I can't use Madison Square Garden either because the Knicks play there. Let's get Prudential Center events. Yeah. They have NFL there, but it's not whatever. Okay, all right. The NFL, NHL is there. I mean, okay, cool. Boys for Life tour. Yo, Bow Wow stay on like some reunion tour. Yeah, how many reunion tours Bow Wow gonna do? I can't even hate. That's just fire.
No hip hop.
I don't see nobody here either. Let me see Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden. Actually, let's use Toyota Center.
Toyota Center. Is that in Houston? Yeah, it's in Houston.
Fantasia. Cardi B's going on a tour, yeah. Okay. So we see Cardi B. Cardi B's coming through.
Cardi B's a superstar.
Let's see. Millennium Tour's coming through. Not hip hop, but Cat Williams coming through.
Cat Williams. He's black at least.
Who else? Not too sure who this is. Peso Pluma's coming through.
Peso Pluma.
And all those guys are really at the top of the totem pole, right? Yeah. Prince Royce, Romeo Santos. I saw them last night.
Okay, Prince Royce. I fuck with them.
Oh, ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky's doing an arena.
Shout out to ASAP Rocky. My boy is back. Everybody go stream that nigga album, bro. He went crazy, man. We need hip hop to come back stronger than ever in full effect. So we got to support the niggas that's still out here going crazy. Salute to that boy, ASAP Rocky, man, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? He pushing boundaries once again. You know, that's why I fuck with Rocky. You know, he not just the nigga that's gonna make some shit for streaming. He not no microwave ass artist. You feel me? All y'all microwave ass niggas, y'all ruin hip hop. You feel me? I don't fuck with y'all. But Rocky, salute to that nigga, man. We need more niggas like that, man. On folks numb.
Oh wow. Shout out to ASAP. Maybe I'm sleeping on ASAP Rocky. I didn't think he could do an arena tour. And Doja Cat. So everybody that would be doing arenas, like they're top of the totem pole. What I'm saying is that think about somebody who's a middle class artist. We can't find no tours they on. They're not like, this is why there's just a deletion of it. Those guys really, they've overpriced themselves, so Rolling Loud don't want to book them, right? Because like these guys aren't going to go from getting paid, you know, because just a couple years ago, some of these guys are getting paid $125,000, $150,000. Now, really, they're worth about like $40,000. They're not going to take that, right? So Rolling Loud's like, all right, we're not booking you. We're not giving you, like, pricing you for your name. You're not hot anymore. These guys don't drop much music anymore. They're not doing tours. And that's why we're seeing a deletion of the middle class, right? So for the majority of artists we're talking about, they're either like starting up and like they got a little bit of buzz, but they're either here or here. We don't see a bunch right here. And that's a problem, I think, right? So I'm kind of agreeing with Bow Wow a bit. But, well, he didn't make that point. He made a point about substance. I do think substance matters. Right? Like a lot of people aren't making music that lasts beyond a trend getting old. And these days we're burning out trends like in a week.
That's why we feel good when certain rappers drop. It's almost like therapy or like, you know, you've been healed from something. It's like, oh my God, thank God he's.
Go get that J. Cole album. I still haven't listened to it yet, but shout out to J. Cole. He ain't no microwave nigga. So I respect it.
I mean, I got tired of hearing it. Finally, I got something I can just ride to and dissect and listen to and, you know, like, they ain't making good music. It's simple. Ain't nobody making nothing timeless. Ain't nobody making music that makes the ladies cry or feel some type of way when they put it on.
That's why Raw Wave is really popular.
You ain't, like, it's just a lot of right now music. You know what I'm saying? Even the biggest records, it's big, but, you know, let's see what it's going to be at the finish line, though.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can live in 5. You gonna care about this record 8 years from now?
The problem with what Bow Wow was saying
Most
is
records,
that,
nah, hell no.
You know, he's from a different era where it took a while to start up an artist. And after they invested in you a lot, they wanted these records to be timeless. They, you know, there was much more care in creating these records. And also, you had to think about the future if you wanted to really be beneficial, or you want to profit from everything you've done. So you were really trying to think to the future with these records and whatever moments. These days, if a motherfucker get hot for 2 years, technically he could be set for life. There's way more money in music right now. So no one is out here saying, yo, let me think about if my music is going to last for the next 5 or 10 years. They're thinking, as long as my shit goes up right now, I'm straight.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yep. Hell yeah.
So,
a lot of niggas got that mindset.
Yeah.
You might be like, I know, because it's going to change. Music going to change, but if you make that music that is timeless and you write it right and it lasts forever, you going to be here. Like, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
100% difference. All right, my man Prescription P got suspended.
That's what it is, man. You know, I definitely agree with Bow Wow and with some of what DJ Akademiks is saying, man. The middle class in hip hop is officially over. Not saying that it'll never come back, because like I said, it's just a reflection of the economy. If the economy gets better, then maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll come back. But it also makes me wonder, all of the artists that's at the bottom, you know, that's on a lower level, what can they do? What can we do to go from the bottom all the way into becoming a superstar, you know? And I think that success is going to start to look different. You got direct to consumer coming back, people selling their albums directly to their fans, people selling merchandise, people doing content. So the whole industry is just about to look different. I'm low-key excited, you know what I'm saying, to see how this new wave is going to be, and how is it going to live on, because there's always pros and cons to everything. But yeah, make sure that y'all like this video. Make sure that y'all comment on this video. Give me your opinion on this. Do you believe that the middle class of hip hop is done? Do you feel like people stop making timeless music? Is it even possible to make timeless music anymore with all this AI shit? Leave it in the comments. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Again, it's your boy Marko Stats. I got a lot of content that's on my channel. I got over 26 music videos. I got 70 songs. I got 72 episodes of the Marko Stats Show. We got reaction videos. You can really binge watch me all day. I got videos that go all the way back for when I was 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? So you could really binge watch me on the internet if you really wanted to. Make sure that y'all tune in. Subscribe to my channel. Click that post notification bell, all right? Stay safe out there, for real, for real. Yep.